Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to FTB Interactions. So, since last episode, I didn't get quite as much building done as I'd hoped because I ended up going somewhat of an impromptu, sort of, primitive camping trip. So, because it was forage time, you know, in the fall, a lot of great stuff to forage, so kind of went on an impromptu primitive camping trip for a few days, so I didn't really have the weekend to spend building. But I did put in elevators, and I'm starting to work on the next floor up. What's going to be the next floor up? But anyways, what we're going to be doing today. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to start pushing for infinite automatic glowstone, redstone, gold. I'm not going to promise that we're going to get it all done today. We do have a bit to do before we get it done, but if we do not get it done, then we will wrap it up in the next episode before starting our next project. So, anyways, what we are going to do, let's go ahead and open up our quest book here. Let's pop over to this tab to get started. We do have the Cheater's Thaumonomicon, so all the research is available to us. But I want to go ahead and shoot for this. We're going to make an alchemical construct. Iron plates. We're going to need essential tubes, essential valves, aqua V. Actually, before I do this, let me go ahead. I've got a little bit of aqua infused. Let me go ahead and set it up to make sure that it's running. Let's go ahead and pull up our alchemical construct, and let me just grab our arcane workbench and move it over for right now. Okay, so let's go ahead, get ourselves a couple crafts of essential tubes. Okay, so there's our essential valves, and there is our alchemical construct. Yeah, and then I've got the stuff. Let me go ahead and just make... This is just kind of for future, but I'm going to go ahead and just get another set of alchemical constructs, because long term we will want those, so might as well go ahead and get it out of the way. And we're going to get another alchemical construct, a crucible, and a piece of Salus Mundus. Alright, so let me see here. I think I've got some Nitor. I do. Let's grab that. I don't think it's going to stay here, to be honest, but for right now. Because I have a plan for kind of where I want to put a Thaumcraft area, but I just have to get built down to it. So let's go ahead, hit that with some Salus Mundus, and we've got ourselves a Thaumatorium. We're not going to be using that too terribly much, I don't think, but I just want to go ahead and get that quest out of the way. The Caster's Gauntlet, we are going to need this also. Steel plates, V Resonator. Okay, so there's our V Resonator. There is our Caster's Gauntlet. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make another batch of those alchemical constructs. Okay, so that is going to get us Aurum crystals. That's fine. Now, next up, we're going to go ahead and get the Runic Matrix. So, we're going to need just 4 Arcane Stone bricks and some Nitor. That is fine. Grab that, and we'll go ahead and get our stone bricks. There we go. So there's our Runic Matrix. That's going to complete a quest, and we are going to get an Interdiction Torch and some triple meat treats. Okay, so nothing really related to the altar itself. That is fine. And then there's that. We don't really need that right this second. I don't need much. Really from Thaumcraft right this second, so let me throw that back in there. Alright, so what we're going to need, first up we are going to need a bit of Arcane Stone, a total of 8. And do I have any Salus Mundus? I do not. Okay, so I'm going to have to get some Salus Mundus. And let's see, for our altar, we'll probably just set this outside with all of our other temporary magic stuff. For the time being. Now, before we move on to that, though, what does it take to make the pedestals? Stone slabs and arcane stone. Okay. I will be needing a bit more arcane stone for sure. But we'll go ahead and get our first one. I'm going to need at least 6 more, though, to actually pull this off. Let's see, as for temporary placement, because we're really only using this for like one craft right now, and until I get the room built, this is what we are going to do. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to set it up right here. And we're going to hit this with our Salus Mundus, and go ahead and transform that into our runic altar. There we go. And then we're going to have to do a couple things. We're going to have to get the rest of our altars made. So I've got to make some more arcane stone up. Okay, we've got the arcane stone that we need. So let's go ahead, do that, and there's our arcane pedestals. Okay. So we've got those. I'm just going to set them aside for right this second because I don't actually need them at the moment. Now, the next thing I want to do, do they have a quest for it or do they not? Yeah, Sintra Smelter. Here we go. And what do we get? We get an auxiliary venting port from this. Okay, so there's our LV machine hull. We'll go ahead. There we go. Our Sintra Smeltery. And we'll go ahead and turn that quest in. We do get an auxiliary venting port, which is quite nice. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get ourselves Essentia filters. There's those. And then our Alembic. There's that. And then let's go ahead and just get ourselves, we'll just grab a stack of charcoal. That should be fine. And to make our jars, these are glass panes and great wood. Or any kind of wood slabs, for that matter. So there's 8 jars. Alright. And we'll go ahead and set this up just back in here. Yeah, right here's fine. And our Alembic, there we go. So now we can start cooking things down. I'm going to go ahead and throw the charcoal in there. And that is where we need to get Thaumcraft 2. Now what we need to do, we need to get, this is going to be a moderate instability, so we are going to have to prepare for that, but it's not too bad. We're going to have to get some Lux, some Herba, and some Census. I think Glowstone should have a bit of Lux for us. And Census. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead. It's a bit much on the Glowstone, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and just do 16. 16 Glowstone into there, and then we still have to get the Herba, but Herba, of course, is super easy. Let's go with, I think Oak Sapling should have it. Actually, let's just go with 10 of them because we have 15 Herba in this, so that should be fine for us. Okay, so there's our Lux, there's our Census. Let's go ahead and throw in our Oak. Get that going. There is our Herba. And there is our Victus. Now the Victus I don't actually need at the moment, so I'm just going to set that over here. And we are done with that for the time being. Let's pop out here and let's get this set up. And we're just going to set up our pedestals like this and like this because it's temporary, doesn't really matter. And then we're going to set our jars down there. Moderate instability, it's not too bad. Let's go ahead and just set up some skulls. Okay, and that should be good. I don't think we're going to have to push too hard for stabilizing at the moment. So, if we need to, then we'll do that, but I really don't think we'll need to. Alright, so we want to make the Faint Amaranth. So we're going to need crystal chunks, we're going to need lotus seeds. I am going to make just a little bit extra of this stuff. Let's see, I think I've got some lotus seeds. I do. Shouldn't need extra lotus seeds, so I'm just going to grab one of those. The stuff in the middle never really gets knocked off, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. And we'll get ourselves some crystal chunks, and then we need the mystical lime petals. We can just make these with barren strawberries, a little bit of mana. I do have barren strawberries downstairs. We should have everything that we're going to need for this. Let me adjust things here just a little bit. And like I said, it is moderate instability, but I think we'll be okay. I think. If not, then we're not, but we'll go ahead, do that, and we'll go ahead and start setting out our items like such. And moment of truth. Moment of truth. Here we go. And that's going to start draining. I don't have my goggles revealing, so it's not going to show us what stage we're at or stability or anything like that at the moment. That's fine. Not too worried about it. Thaumcraft Infusion, fairly easy, so it's not something we should have to worry about too much. But we're just going to watch this. We're going to observe it. Make sure that everything runs good. Make sure that the stuff on the pedestals is not knocked off. We're on to the census. We only need 16 census, and then it's going to start collecting the items from the pedestals. So we're looking pretty good at the moment. And yeah, I think we're going to be alright on this. No issues whatsoever. Beautiful. And there we go. We now have ourselves a faint amaranth. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Okay, so that is part one of what we need to do. That is the first part. Now we are going to complete a quest hidden somewhere. Oh, I did complete all these quests, by the way. So these are done. So just a heads up. Light in the Darkness, we are going to get a Resonant Conversion Kit and 3 Auxiliary Reception Coils. Alright, so now what I want to do, let me go ahead and just dump this stuff. I don't need any of that. I also don't really need any of that at the moment, or that or that. Okay, so we're done with Thaumcraft for right now. And we actually knocked out a big chunk of the quests within Thaumcraft, really just needing to get into spells and do that and that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, the next thing I want to do, is I want to go ahead and automate Phytogrow. Now we're probably just going to go ahead and jump onto the rich Phytogrow. There's really no point in automating the standard Phytogrow, I don't guess. I believe we can still, yeah, we can still use these for mana powder. That's great. But we're going to need charcoal dust, rich slag, and saltpeter. Now saltpeter, we can easily automate this with salt and an autoclave. So we are going to do that. Charcoal dust, easy to automate. And then rich slag, liquid starlight, autoclave. Once again, now slag itself. There's a couple ways that we can do this, either through the sludge refiner, which I think the smog enriched chicken. This is kind of the spot where it's going to take us a little bit of setup to get this up and going. Entropy infused dust, charcoal dust, smart chickens. I like that. I like that quite a bit actually. Let me go ahead. Let me pop over. I think I've got, yeah, these right here. I should just be able to pulverize these. 4 of them gets me, yeah. I will need a stack of them, but that's fine. Let me go ahead and get these pulverized real quick. Then we're going to need the 64 charcoal dust. So we'll go ahead and get that running. Then we need the infinity dust, the 10-10-10 chicken. I should have both of those. And there is our entropy infused dust. The epoxy resin, chemical reactor, let's see. Yeah, chemical reactor, sodium hydroxide, bicephenol, and, or we can go nitrogen dioxide, naphtha, epichlorohydrin. Okay, how much of this do we actually need? We need 1 bucket of it. And I think for right now, I don't think I really want to, I don't think I want to automate, like fully automate for epoxy resin right this second. We will be before too long, but I don't think I'm at the point where I really want to right this second. I don't think that I want to bother with that right this second. So let's go ahead, let's just set up a chemical reactor for right now. And we're just going to be using tanks to make this. And I think that we're going to go for this method right here, nitrogen dioxide, which is a combination of oxygen and nitrogen, which of course, thanks to our chicken, that is easily done. Okay, so there's our nitrogen dioxide. I'm just going to go ahead and grab that. I'm going to set it over here to the side for right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and set us up a basic steam turbine, basic distillery for right now. And let's see, to get our epichlorohydrin, I think, yeah, we're going to go with this method. It only produces 288. And I went ahead and made some more nitrogen dioxide because we are going to need that. We can do this and get 12,000. It is going to require a lot of sulfuric naphtha though. We're going to be moving into a lot of this stuff. I think we're just going to go for the naphtha with this method, I do believe, for now, until we get into actually making our oil and stuff. We are going to need some hydrogen. Hydrogen's really easy, but we are going to need let's see, oil, that makes 20, and powered oil makes 28. Yeah, we'll be going with this right here. So we're going to need a program circuit set to 2. Let me just steal the one out of this for right now. And we'll get that naphtha being made, that sulfuric naphtha. Now in addition, I am going to need to get some hydrogen, but we can make that just by our chemical reactor, our gassy enriched eggs, program circuit, and we're going to be able to make hydrogen that way. And that's the route that I'm going to be taking for that, I do believe. But for right now, we have to get a lot of sulfuric naphtha. Now what I'm probably going to do for the time being is let's go ahead and see about getting ourselves a fluid pump here. Okay, so there's our fluid pump. We'll go ahead and just grab that. That's going to complete a quest. Buckets, those are rookie numbers. And we're going to head out, to our oil area real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set up our fluid pump up here. We're going to drop that on, and you can see it's filtering oil right now. It's going to start pumping up all the oil down below it. So yay. Yeah, let's go ahead and just grab a bit of this oil. That should be good. I'm just going to leave this here for right now. I don't really need it. I don't think I need any more than this. I've got 46,000 millibuckets of oil. That should be good, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave that here. And I'll come back for it later. I'm probably going to go ahead and just pump up all the oil that's over here. So we'll just leave that there for right now. Alright, I'm going to head back home. Okay, so there is our seed oil. Let me go ahead and set this back up so that I can start running again. And I've already got our hydrochloric acid. And let's go ahead and toss in our water and our seed oil. And then we need, oh, how do I get this broken down? It says I can just put it, maybe I have to have it in an actual crafting table. So we'll toss that in. And that's going to start running. Let me go ahead and speed that up a little bit here. And we're going to go ahead and make 2 batches of the glycerol, just because we can. And we'll go ahead and just bucket that up. Okay, so now, at this point, to make the epichlorohydrin, it's glycerol and the hydrochloric acid. And we're going to get some water. I don't actually want the water, so I'm just going to pull that out. And we'll just dump it in there for right now. And we're going to get our epichlorohydrin. So let me go ahead and just snag that. And that glycerol, we'll just go ahead and pull that out for the time being. Okay, so then we just need the naphtha, which is going to come from the oil. We need 24,000 millibuckets of oil. Or 24,000 buckets of sulfuric naphtha. Or 20 millibuckets of sulfuric naphtha. So that's going to take a minute to run to get that. And then we'll be able to make the epoxy resin that we need to pull this off. And I should have everything else that we're going to need. Now, of course, the bisphenol A, there is that method, but we don't really have all the stuff in place. This is just a little bit more expensive, but easy method for us. So, and then for that naphtha, we also need the hydrogen, which I have that on hand, so that's not a big deal. Oh, this makes 12,000 naphtha with the sulfuric naphtha, so we actually just need 1 craft of this. For some reason, I was thinking it only made 9,000, or I don't know. But yeah, so let's go ahead. Let's grab that. dump it into there. Our epichlorohydrin. And let me grab that hydrogen sulfide. Just toss it to the side there. And let me go ahead and grab this. We'll get that running. And that's going to start producing our epoxy resin. Okay, so there's our epoxy resin. Let me go ahead and just grab that out, and we're going to go ahead and set up a mixer. We'll just set it up, we'll set it up right here for the time being. And we'll drop that in, and drop in that, oh yeah, the charcoal dust and then the smart chicken. Let me grab that, and we're going to get that running. Go ahead and speed that up just a little bit, and there we go. There's our smog chicken. Okay, and that leftover epoxy resin, I don't see myself doing anything with that small amount, so I'm just going to grab that up. Is there a quest for the smog chicken? There is. We need to get a smog enriched egg. I'm only going to make one of these just because I don't want to have to front that cost for another one. So we'll just get those breeding and go ahead and speed that process up a bit. Okay, we got ourselves a smog chicken. Beautiful. First try that time. Took me a while to get, I did the Mr. or America Cock or whatever that does the banners. I did breed that one up to a 10-10-10. It took me forever to get a second one of those, but okay, I got our 10-10-10s, and we'll go ahead and get these breeding real quick. There we go. There's our 16 smog chickens. Beautiful. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and just bring this down. I may not need that space though. And what we're going to do is let's set up a basic steam turbine. Yeah, let's do it here. And we're gonna have a fluid extractor that sits right here. We're going to have our roost sitting here. Yeah, be fine. And insert, we're going to have machines basically wall to wall in this room. So we're going to start inserting the smog enriched eggs. They're going to start breaking down and creating sludge. So now we're producing that sludge. Then what we're going to need is the sludge refiner. Iron gears, gold gears. Alright, give me just a second to get this crafted up. Okay, there's our sludge refiner. So let's go ahead and grab that. And we're going to set this up. I don't know if sludge is going to be used for anything charcoal byproducts. We can make it. If we do that, which we might do that, though there's other ways to make charcoal byproducts pretty easily that we've talked about, but I don't know, that's not too bad. If we do that, we'll set up another chicken. So let me go ahead and just pop that. But I don't know, do I have to use a CEU for these? I do. That's fine. I do have a CEU made. Honestly, we could get into the Spectre Energy Network. Would be useful, but I don't think we're going to at the moment. Actually, though, let's pull this up. I don't need this to come all the way down. Not for this area. We're going to do the basic steam turbine there and a CEU that sits here. There we go. So now we're producing some power and feeding that into the sludge refiner. Let's go ahead and just say fluid auto output is enabled. So it's going to start sending that sludge down and creating items. You can see gravel and clay, and lots of gravel and clay. There's some sand. There's some pulp biomass. Once again, we can take this with charcoal dust and make pulp bio blend, which can be smelted for slag. And we might, but I'm not in too big of a rush for that at the moment because our slag's actually going to go pretty far with the system that we're going to be setting up. Okay, so that's producing that stuff. Now what I want to do is, let's go ahead, everything that can come from sludge, there is 3, 6, 9 different things that can come from sludge. Okay, so we've produced quite a bit of stuff while I was getting some things prepped and whatnot. Let's go ahead and grab one of these. And I kind of want to fill this room out, but we're starting to get to where it's like tricky to get everything to fit in kind of how we want it. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in steam turbines here. These are going to be advanced steam turbines. And we're going to run out cable right there. We're going to have a macerator that sits here. And then below it we're going to have 2 autoclaves. And we're going to go ahead and set the sides of these to be the outputs. So what we're going to do, we're going to put in cache here, cache here, cache here, and this one, I'm going to go ahead, let me go grab a chassis pipe, and I'm going to go ahead and just clip that off. We're going to put that in, and we are going to add a active supplier module, and we're going to say partial, and let's go ahead and just grab charcoal and say keep 32 stacks of charcoal in the macerator at any given time. There we go, there goes the charcoal. It's going to start making charcoal dust, and we're going to say auto output. There we go. So that's producing the charcoal dust for us. Now what we need to do, we are going to have to feed items into these, and I think the best way for us to handle this is probably going to be conduits, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a conduit line. Basically it's going to run up to here, and it's going to be fluid and items that run up. And we're going to say that you can insert, it's going to be on the brown channel, and you can insert, and then over here we're going to say that you can insert on the blue channel, and you can insert. And then what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and run out conduit line here, disconnect that, and we're going to say you extract, it's going to be on the brown channel. So we should see salt getting sent over here. That's great. Then let's go ahead and do the fluid setup first. I'll tell you what, I'm going to adjust this slightly. Over here we are going to have chassis pipes that are going to be connected up. Let me go get one more chassis pipe real quick. And these are basically going to be used for providing to the system. Let me pop down here real quick, and we'll just connect that up. So there we go. And then one other thing that I want to do, this will all be underneath the floor. Basically. Yeah, let's, this will be hidden. Let's go ahead, right here should be fine. We're going to put in a fluid supplier pipe right there. I'm just going to put in a tank, sits right there, and this is so that we can feed both of our autoclaves with Starlight without having to worry too much about it. So we're going to go ahead, say keep 5,000, partial, yes, min mode bucket, that's fine. So go ahead and send that over to this tank. And then what we're going to do is pull that up and have this follow up along the same conduit line. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead, set it up to the full 20,000. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say that you can extract always active. So it's going to start sending liquid Starlight up. And there we go. It's going to start filling into our autoclaves. There we go. Okay. So now that that's in place, let me go ahead and set, I'm going to need one more module set, but let's go ahead and add in provider module into this. And you can see that the liquid starlight and the salt making saltpeter. And we're going to go ahead and set that to auto output. There we go. So our system has charcoal and it has saltpeter. Awesome. Now over here, this is going to be using the slag, of course, to make rich slag. So what we're going to do, everything's pretty well in place for this, I think. But we need to set up the extraction from the sludge refiner at this point. Now right now, some of this stuff's going to get altered a little bit. For example, the glauconite sand is going to be sent to be electrolyzed. And for this, we are going to bring our item conduit line over like so. And we'll go ahead and set our caches in. And what we're going to do, these caches, we're going to have, do I have any uses for slag? Really? Yeah, there's things like florbs. Also, if we want to make morbs, we're going to need slag, specifically slag, for that. So yeah, I need to really stockpile the slag. So I guess we're going to add that in there. And then let's go ahead and add in like clay, I suppose. We'll add that in as well. And what we're going to do, let's put a trash can in right there. And this trash can, it's going to be a priority of -10, and it's going to be inserting on the black channel. These are also going to be inserting on the black channel with a priority of 0. And all this other stuff, we'll deal with at a later time. I'm really not concerned about it right this second, so I'm probably just going to trash it for the time being. I will put down, let me grab like a little bit of each of this, or at least the things that I can't just EMC back, just so I can set up filters later. I'm not worried about the rest of that stuff though at the moment, because this will be running constant. So then what we're going to do is just add in conduit line here that connects into this. Yeah, and we'll bring that over. This is going to be extracting on the black channel. So the slag and the clay should come into this. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and then the slag is going to be able to extract on the channel blue. So let's just set this up to extract on blue. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but we'll start making facades before too long. So that should be fine. That's going into the autoclave. It's creating rich slag. We'll set auto output. There we go. We are now sending rich slag over into this cache. And then what we're going to do is just make a quick crafting recipe, because to make the phytogrow, to make the rich phytogrow, it takes charcoal dust, saltpeter, rich slag. Basically what we just automated, right? That little segment there. So let's go ahead. Let me order one of these. Okay, so that recipe is set up, and you'll notice that it does make 16 rich phytogrow per craft. And then what we're going to do is let's order ourselves a piece of that. And we can use this to make mana powder and all that. Oh, we're out of rich slag. Oh, that's right. I never made a... I ordered this, but I didn't put it in. Let's go ahead and get our provider module, and we'll add that into there. Okay. And later on, we'll get to using the pulp bio blend to make more slag. But really, I think since this does craft 16 at a time, and especially once we get the nutrient recovery, it's not going to be too bad, all things considered. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Alright, so there's our phytogrow, and we're going to go ahead and just add this into our active supplier module. And we're going to say keep, let's set this to partial. We're going to say keep 127 rich phyto grow in that. So if we take a look, it should be sending things over and making more rich phyto grow, which literally as fast as it gets there, it gets sent over. So it is producing that for us. Now what we have to do is we have to set up a CEU. Will I be able to fit all this into this small space? I think we'll be able to pull it off. It's going to be a tight fit. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put in our phytogenic insulator setting here. And yeah, that should be good. And let's go ahead and just clear that out. Do we want to use the resonant conversion kit? We probably will, but we'll do that here in just a moment. And we're going to put in a... pull away this wall. I haven't built a room of like machine madness like this in so long. We're going to put our CEU attached to our phytogenic insulator there, and we are going to put in just a basic steam turbine that sits there. Then let's just go ahead and run that down to provide that with some steam. So there is that. And this now has power. Let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to need a chassis pipe and a module. Let me go ahead and just order 10 more of those. And there is the monoculture cycle. We probably will end up pushing for that before too long, but for right now we're not going to worry about it too much. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up a logistics chassis pipe up there, and we're going to say that let me set up our modules. We're going to do a provider module, an active supplier module, and we are going to set that in, and we're going to say partial rich phyto grow, keep a good 32 in there at all times, and we're going to say that you can input. Let's grab our faint amaranth from earlier. We're going to toss that in, and we should... yeah, here comes the phyto grow. No, maybe not. It's because... okay. It's because we have it being fed into the chickens and not the shift right click. Make sure the orange ones are connected there, and then we can add that back in. So there we go. Here comes the phyto grow, and now it goes into here. This will also require some water, so we're going to have to supply it with some water. We do have water coming up right here through pressurized fluid conduits. We're probably just going to bring those over. Okay, so we'll just bring those conduits in right there. We're going to say you can insert, and we're going to say on the bottom you accept. I think it's the blue. We'll find out here in just a moment. And yeah, that's getting water. So it's producing it's producing glowstone, and then it gets that faint amaranth, kind of as like a byproduct. So what we're going to do at this point, we are going to set up an item conduit line. We're going to say that you extract on some weird channel like magenta, and it's always active. And we're going to say that self-feed is enabled in this case. And we're going to say that you can also insert on the magenta line. And we're going to change this over to orange and blue. And what we're going to do is we're going to set the insert to a lower priority. We're going to say like 5. And then we need to set up a cache. This cache is going to be setting, let's see, we'll have this cache setting here. And then what we're going to do is, let me actually grab a piece of this glowstone. We're going to put it into there. We're going to slot it in, and we're going to bring this over and we're going to say that you can insert on magenta. And let's pull that out. And if you notice, it takes a second, but the faint amaranth just gets sent back around, gets cycled back around. Now later on we can add the upgrade to this so that the faint amaranth will just never leave this slot. But for right now, you know, it's not really worth the work that we would have to put forward to do that, in all honesty at the moment. And it's going to start producing glowstone. So we now have completely passive glowstone production. And let me go ahead and actually, how much glowstone do we have in the system at the moment? We have 106. Let me go ahead and just request all of that, just so we can consolidate all of our materials. So there we go. And we're going to put in the chassis pipe there. And this is going to have a provider module. So our system will now have access to the glowstone that is in that cache. So if we take a look, just a quick double check, we have 144 glowstone. Then what we're going to do is we are going to set up an advanced steam turbine that sits right there. And in front of it we're going to have an advanced centrifuge. And we're going to set this up, I've already set it up, but we're going to set it up to round robin enabled on the extract. And this is going to be on the magenta line with a filter, glowstone dust set in the filter. The reason I've already got this set up, first I set up a basic centrifuge, and then I realized, oh yeah, we have to have MV to do this. So I had to upgrade. But now one thing I did notice is it doesn't seem like it wants to round robin, I guess because it's self-feeding, maybe is the reason, because these are both set to a priority of 0, but it won't really send any glowstone up to the centrifuge. But just as an example, because I'm just going to let this buffer fill up, and then it can just pretty much send all of it up to here. And I think once we get the upgrade into the phytogenic insulator, it will make it so the round robin works again. But the glowstone, whenever it goes into the centrifuge, you'll notice it's not terribly fast. It's actually very slow for this to break down. But that's okay, because I just shot myself in the foot there by speeding that up. If I speed up the turbine though, yeah, there we go. You can see that it's producing small piles of redstone dust and small piles of gold dust from the glowstone that it's running through here. So with these, what we can do, of course, is we can send them into a packer and make redstone. We can send them into a packer and make gold dust. So what we're going to do, just really quick, we are going to add in, let me get a couple nodes. What we're going to do is we're just going to set up an input routing node here. And we're going to grab that connection. And then let's come over and we're going to set up an output routing node, and this is going to be on the, well, it'll just be on the packer. Actually, we should just be able to connect it over to here. There we go. It's going to start sending the redstone and the gold, because this one is doing fluids on the downside, but on the upside it's not filtered, so it's going to see that and go, hey, I can send items over here, and it's just going to send our stuff over, and it's going to be producing gold and redstone for us automatically. Now with the system at the moment, I will probably end up putting in a barrel, or yeah, maybe a barrel or a trash can or something like that, that's kind of set as a default route for redstone and gold, so that when these fill up, they can be sent to a place that they can be voided. Or I may put some kind of control over it so that you know, it doesn't back up on us. But we'll see. We'll see. But it will, especially once this glowstone fills up, it will start just producing and pumping out redstone and gold for us automatically, which will be great. And our room is now completely covered in machines. So, yay! We have succeeded in life. But anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, a bit over, so I am going to end this one out here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. I'm about to start cleaning up this room, so I'll get to work on that, and we'll start moving into getting facades. Next episode, we are going to be probably starting the power system, if I had to guess, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to start moving into what's going to be our HV power before too long. So anyways, I hope you guys join me for that. And until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys next time.